All right, what's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Global Chat Room. Again, my name is Rana. As always, I'm here with my brother, DJ Poster Child.
What's up?
And today we have a very special guest here today. We have Rez in the house. What's up, Rez?
What's up, guys? Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Yes, for people that don't know who Rez is, by the end of this video, you'll know the talented individual he is. But thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Myself and Smokey, we have like tried to get you here, so finally you're here.
We talked about you almost every episode.
Yes, I not on purposely. He always right here.
Bro,
Yes,
it's the clothes.
stitches of style. Made this hat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like he's always wearing like something that
I'm
you-
always supporting
No,
my
I
brother,
appreciate
man.
it. I appreciate it. He is definitely one of the foremost, like, visible, I guess, customers or
Yeah.
patrons of our
Yeah.
brand, for sure. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, and he did mention this in an outing in a setting. We're like, yo, I appreciate people that actually wear the stuff that they
Yeah.
have for me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't wear it because
I mean, I don't know who wouldn't. It's fucking dope, bro.
exactly,
It's like
exactly. So it's like a couple of our friends that actually wear it. It's like, yeah, it's our boy, but we're not. It's actually great stuff, great quality, great material, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And we're gonna get on that a little bit. But thank you for joining again. Like as I mentioned, we definitely want to dig into a little bit about your life. What do you do? What you would like to share with us? But in the aspect of designing, graphic, whatever it is, please, our viewers definitely would love to know a little bit about you.
I mean, I have extensive background in design. I don't just create clothes per se. Stitches Style is my company. I'm CEO of the company.
Yes.
It's actually more of a creative agency. Everything I do under that umbrella, it is a corporation, an actual licensed corporation. Um, I do a ton of freelance work and like pro bono work and that kind of stuff under that umbrella. So a lot of things just fall under that bucket. Stitches of Style, as most people know it, is a brand that is like our in-house brand. I use it more as a playground, I would say, for myself, because oftentimes as a creative, I don't get to design the things I actually want to design.
Right.
That makes sense.
Sometimes I'm, getting, offers to do projects. I'll take on projects. It might be interesting sometimes. Sometimes it's just a means to an end. But more often than not, I don't always get to design the things that I want to. So Stitcher Style, I use more of that, like my playground. I create things I want to do, or I would like to see in market, or even just to test out things. Like a lot of the times when I'm working on things, it's also kind of vetting myself for future clients as well. You know what I mean? So like I know my hat quality is top notch because I've already done it. I did it for myself. I put my money into it, and I know the quality is there. Like how you mentioned,
I could attest to it. I could
yeah,
attest to that.
like
Yep.
how you mentioned in the beginning, like the quality is there. Like I think a lot of my brand gets lost because everybody's looking at these things through a screen, whether it's an Instagram post or even the site. Everything's flat and everything kind of looks the same.
Mhm.
Until you actually get the product, you don't really appreciate or actually understand the quality and the detailing that I go to for creating these things. So, like I said, it is often expensive to create some of this stuff. But again, because of the fact that I am doing small runs, I don't ever do massive quantities of anything.
Right.
It's just, it's more, I treat my pieces more like art as
Mm.
opposed to a mass production of like a bunch of things. And then just I'm sitting on 1,000 pieces of like t-shirts that are in a warehouse and sitting collecting dust, I'd rather make 10 good pieces and 10 people actually buy it and wear it than
Absolutely.
have 1,000 pieces and like 10 people are wearing it out of those 1,000 pieces. It just is pointless. It's a
Exactly.
waste, and it doesn't do the brand or the effort taken to create the stuff any justice. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I feel like that's like the Supreme model, no? Like it's like limited quantity.
No, I mean it's that's just the Supreme model has changed a lot. Obviously, they got bought out by like the same umbrella houses that
Mhm.
own like Louis Vuitton and all these other fashion houses. So the infrastructure of Supreme kind of changed a lot. Their their model is more of like obviously hype driven, right? Like
Mhm.
they make a certain amount of quantity, yes, but like it's so hype in the level of like the followers or the customer base that they have, they sells out. Like a lot of the things they sell out. Like right now, although it's changed because of the infrastructure, you can kind of acquire things a little bit easier than maybe like 5 years ago.
Mhm.
But but it's similar in that context of like, again, limited quantity, high demand, that kind of sort of thing. But
Yeah.
in my approach is more so just creating really dope stuff and treating it strictly as art, because
That makes
it's an
sense.
extension of what I
Yeah.
create, you know.
I know. Speaking about LV and Supreme and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, you did some designing or at least collaboration with, was it Rutgers? What was it?
Well, Rucker was a basketball brand. I was actually the first. So, in hindsight, that was the first job I did while my first year in college.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the job I would get after graduating, I got the first year
That's
of
dope.
college,
Dope.
Yeah.
which was a gift and a curse in a
Mhm.
sense, because one, it kind of delayed my trajectory of finishing college in the normal scope.
Right.
Um, but at the same time, it threw me right into the fire. Like I was designing full lines of apparel and like accessories for this brand. There was another brand that was like a sister brand that
Mhm.
was called Stalmby. They were owned by the same. There was a Korean owner, um, and basically like they're like sister companies. So there's like a little bit of overlap in certain designs.
Uh-huh.
But Rucker, the brand, was strictly a basketball brand. Stahl and Dean was more of a like a Mitchell and Ness.
Okay.
So they did a lot of defunct teams, what they call like
Okay.
teams that no longer exist, or like
Mhm.
they don't have like franchises that will come after you for licensing and stuff like that. So Stahl and Dean used to do a lot of the Mitchell Ness models, but like teams that are like super old heritage stuff, like Negro League teams. Like I'm sure everybody remembers some of those Negro League hats and stuff like that. Stahl and Dean was the one who was producing these things. And they had like a bunch of like old like NBA players from the ABA and that kind of stuff. Even also old baseball teams from uh, uh, like Cooperstown and stuff like that. So there was a whole bunch of teams that we kind of brought their history back and kind of like gave it a new twist.
Mhm.
So that job was my first real job designing clothes.
Dope.
Yeah, and it was such a random thing too, because at that time I was actually making T-shirts from scratch. I
That's
used to
wild.
work.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
used to work in a store in Harlem. It was called Pegasus. No longer exists, but like it was iconic because that store was like one of the very few. And this is the there's this new hat culture that's back, but that was like back then. There was another like the first wave of like that hat culture. Like there wasn't that many stores doing like off the wall colorways of like teams.
Mm.
Like most stores weren't given licenses or the ability to design hats, and like a Yankee hat, you couldn't do it other than navy, red, or white, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Or the Lakers, like it would have to be purple, gold, or white,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
right? So that store was one of the very few stores that had the ability with New Era, like actual official contract with
Oh
New Era,
wow. Okay.
to design hats in different colorways.
What what year are you talking about this?
This has had to be 2006.
Ah, that's
Bro, that's crazy because like
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever been to the Coliseum block,
Yeah,
but bro, the Coli block always has some
no,
crazy.
no, because I'm saying that
crazy.
it was that time of hat culture was a whole different way.
Yeah, I mean it was mainly like fitteds and stuff. Right?
Yeah, it's all fitted. That's
Yeah.
all it was designing. So that store I got into inadvertently. I went into that store. I used to always buy hats from there. Like I used to work, not work, but I went to school in the art and design, which was on Fifth Ave and 56th Street,
Mm.
Between 56 and 57 at that time, and Second Avenue. No longer exists on that specific location. It moved over because gentrification. But that because I was already in the city, and a lot of my friends from my school
Mhm.
were from the Bronx or Harlem.
Yeah.
So I was always like uptown weirdly. Like it's weird how things full circle now. Like I'm like back. Like a lot of my friends are from the Bronx and stuff now, and I've never met them back then. I met them only like later in life, which is
Yeah.
also kind of crazy. But at that time, so I went to that store a lot because they used to have so many cool colorways of like hats that like, and again, this was the matchy era, right? Like the fitteds to go back with the sneakers to go with the fit. Like it was heavy.
Bro,
back
you were
then.
matching down to the socks, bro.
That everything, man.
The
Like
socks.
and I was a huge Laker fan too, even back then. So they had like colorways or even older logos that like a lot of other stores weren't doing.
Mhm.
So I used to go there frequently, but then because of I used to like one of my good friends, Ishmael, where I went to high school with. He was the first person to actually show me how to design on clothes.
Mm-hmm.
So he did. I had him make a shirt for me. It was
Mhm.
like a dress shirt where he did like this whole. I still have it to this day in my
No way.
basement. So it's pretty dope. But he showed me how to like how to do it, and from there I kind of ran with it. Like,
Mm.
and even to this day, he's mentioned like, "Yo, I just showed you like one little thing, and you kind of made it into this whole other thing," which is kind of crazy.
That's
like,
dope, yeah.
So backtracking to Pegasus, I went into the store and the guy saw like I had this, I used to make shirts. So I was like, yo, would you like, these are the shirts I make, whatever, would you want to sell in the store? It's like, yeah, just come make, like, you can sell it here, whatever. That kind of segued me to actually working in the store too. 'Cause, like I was there already taking orders, like I would do custom orders and stuff. So I would work in the store normal, like it's a fitted. They used to sell sneakers, all the Mitchell and Ness jerseys and stuff. They had everything.
wow.
Shit,
So-
so he had access to all the limited
Yeah,
stuff
I had
too.
all like not even limited. It was just like hard. Like they were expensive, and I
Yeah.
wasn't making no money like that back then to kind of even manage some of that stuff. So I got in there. I used to like take orders in the day. Like I would work in the store like a normal person, whatever. And then I got the ability to design out hats. Like I
Yeah.
would sit with the Michelin guy who would come in, take our orders. I would color up everything, pick what logos we want to do, sit there, we would pump it out. And I was like, I'm telling you, like that was like the hat club. Like I don't know how familiar you guys are with that whole movement. Like there's a whole
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a
not.
whole sector of people that collect hats, fitted hats specifically in unique colorways and stuff. And there's like accessories now for the hats. I was doing that back in like 2006
Ahead
before
of
it
the
was a
game.
thing.
Ahead of the game.
Yeah, dude, my whole room had like hats around the wall.
They're like
because-
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
I've
just-
known I've known Rez for quite some time. I didn't know this part of
Yeah,
That's
his,
crazy,
his
man.
life.
yeah. So it was just like it was a crazy thing. But at the same time, I was still pumping out custom shirts. Like I did shirts for like Lil Flip.
No fucking
Cameron.
way. What?
Yeah, I have Lil Flip actually wore my shirt that I made.
Game over?
Yeah, game over, dude.
What?
He wore it in a ad for a grill company. Yeah, and they made it into a magazine. Like it was like a small, like in the magazine in context, it was small, but like he was wearing the shirt, so it was kind of pretty dope.
That
and
is
shit.
That's
fire.
fire, bro.
I did a shirt for Fat Joe. It never made it into the actual video that it was supposed to do. Yeah, Cam used to like pull up and everything. I actually sold. If you guys remember the Young Jeezy video, they kind of recreated Paid in Full
Okay.
in that
Yeah,
video.
yeah.
Cam that day pulled up to the store and I sold him the hat that he wore in the video for that shit.
That's wild,
Yeah,
bro.
shit was crazy.
Oh, wow.
Jim Jones was pulling up. There was like a whole, like again, Harlem Cats. was
Yeah,
there.
I mean-
Fab used to frequent there often.
Damn.
But yeah, I got exposed to like a lot of these dudes like back then when like
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy how like you've been like influenced hip hop in a different way too.
I don't know if I influenced it, but I'm like,
I mean, what you mean, bro? You just said you had Little Flip in the video.
yeah, I mean, well, not in a video, in an ad he
Oh,
wore it.
That he
but,
wore your, yeah, I mean,
But still, bro, it's
no, I mean, this is the creator in me is like obviously stoked that I was able to be in these positions to do these things.
do
but,
something like that, yeah.
again, I don't
That's
think
wild,
about
bro.
like influencing per se. I just feel like I'm doing what
you
my-
just be modest at this time, bro. You be modest.
No, and the thing is that the first time I've met Rez, I just Rez as himself. Like I've never got to know his, talented side, designer side until a couple of years after. Obviously you'll remember, like right now more recently it was a lot more streetwear, like hats and
Yeah.
hoodies and stuff. But at one point, I myself kind of collaborated with him. Not collab because he's the designer, he did everything. It was like I'm like one of the models or like give my input as to what it was. It was like dapper wear, like ties, pocket squares. We had when it was like the wave of lapel flowers, and that's where he came out with all these dope ass designs.
That was actually, ironically, that was the first time I think I really got introduced to Fahad.
Yes,
Which is and it's we always me and Fahad's one of my good friends as well. So we talk all the time, but like that built a friendship from there. Like it
Yep.
was just like a rent. Like he brought him. It's like, yo, I got a guy who could shoot this stuff for us, and he brought
and
him.
since then, like you did a
we've
lot
been-
of you
yeah.
collabed a lot with
Fahad's
Fahad.
by far like one of my best like collaborators in terms of like photography.
Yeah,
So and is by far one of my best like
Yeah.
friends, and like I have many good friends.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of them. But yeah, going back to that, like Stitches of Style originally was like accessories. Like the brand itself was accessories based because I approached it like this. Like a brand's clothing brands can get kind of clicky or subjective. You know what I'm saying? Like you might like Supreme, but like your dad won't like Supreme, right?
No,
Like
abs-
or your cousin might even not like Supreme. You might think he's too cool for it, or you know what I'm saying? Like vice versa. So clothing brands can get really tough to succeed in because it's a demographic, and if you hit big and you just pop off, then you pop off. But more often than not, there's oversaturation, right? Like,
Yeah.
everybody has a t-shirt brand, everybody has a whatever brand, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't have legs often. So I approached it a little differently because I saw accessories as a gateway. Because me personally, even with my style, I love accessories. Like accessories are a big part of my style. Like, it's all about layering and like the little details of everything. So
Bro, even what you got on, it's like it's dope. Like it's not loud, but it's like it complements everything you got on.
that's the whole idea. Like I said, and to steal a quote from what I've seen is like, fashion fades, but style is eternal. Like that's
Yeah.
what I see it as. Like, this everybody can
Yeah.
wear stuff, but
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
many people are actually fashionable.
Yeah,
You know
man.
what I'm saying?
I mean, you look like old money. Yeah.
I like to. I would definitely say my style, if you would pick it as a term, is dapper streetwear. Right, like, that is me. There's a very like I'm wearing dress pants with like sneakers right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
But you make it work.
exactly.
You
So
make it
like
work.
my style is I see it as that. Like again, there's a very tapered, dapper style that I have aesthetically, but I also love streetwear. Like my favorite outerwear piece is like varsity jacks. I'll make varsity jacks till I die if I could. You know what I'm saying? So, it's one of those things where like it hybrids into that style, and like that was where I find my happy place in terms of personal style. But going back to Stitches of Style, same thing. It was just like, accessories are something that has no demographic essentially, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a pocket square works for you, but like a big enough pocket square, a girl could use it as a handkerchief or like a headscarf,
Yep.
whatever. Like I said, like same thing, like the pins. Like I've had girls buy
Those pins, yeah.
pins and use it for themselves. So that's where the nice part of the entryway where we originally did it. Definitely it had its moment. That whole
Because I'm sorry to cut you off, but that was how you started it, correct? Like
yeah, it was strictly
that was like the first thing you put on the website.
the first thing we ever created as a brand was accessories, ties, pocket squares, lapel pins, tie clips. Those are the main things we created for sure in the beginning.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out. Shout out to Marup Nur Imaging.
Yeah.
He shot those products for us.
Yeah,
he
he
shot
did.
the whole Marup shot the whole
Yeah, for sure.
catalog basically.
Look, contrary to all my abilities, I've been blessed to be able to work with a lot of dope people, and like
Yes.
again, and because of those collaborations, and some of them again, it's not even the collaborations that developed the friendship, but like I was able to meet some great people, and then to this day we're still like we might not be
Exactly.
collaborating and creating certain things,
But you got closer and
we're close, and we hang out, we travel, whatever it may be. So definitely Marup was a one of the founding forefront of collaborators for the brand.
Yeah.
Definitely helped get some of the visions that we wanted out for sure. I was actually going through some of the images because I'm actually, not to bury the lead, I'm working on a coffee table book. So
Dope.
a lot of it is driven with the photography that I've accumulated over the last
I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 10 years
yeah,
even.
10 years even, with some of these great photographers like that we know
Yeah.
that you might have made it to the show, might end up in the show. So I don't want to give away too much of it, but that's why I was kind of revisiting some older imagery and stuff like that, because it kind of full circles and it'll kind of summarize in this book in a way that I hopefully kind of gives them some love, and as well as like kind of helps curate the story that I want to tell.
That's pretty fire. So I actually remember when I first met you. So I met you when you were with Marup. I think you were like shooting with him,
assisting him for
right?
a shoot.
So like I know that you have a great eye for clothing, but then you also have this other side of you where you could even do like you have a direction, like you know exactly what you want as far as photography is concerned too. No.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's a photography thing. Whenever I've worked with Fahad, I worked with Maroop specifically whenever they need a hand. Because again, it's like I view as this like we live in a like a very collaborative environment,
Mhm.
right? So like if I can help you, I'm gonna always help you, right? Like they've done more than enough to help me
Yeah.
and continue to help me whenever I need to. I can know I can rely on them. They're very good, upstanding guys and just independent of their work, but
Yeah.
their work is also like top notch. So in that sense, you know, whenever they needed a hand, I was more than like if I was available, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna help. But I
But
don't want to take too much of the visionary, like the photography side. I was just like again there to give a hand and
A
you know,
second hand.
yeah, basically like sometimes and again some of the
I mean, you're saying that you know, I mean, Maroop Fahad, bro, top notch. But
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
if you're like second shooter, obviously dude, you have a great fucking eye, right?
Yeah, I mean, or more so like I guess they have a level of trust and
Yeah.
respect for me being reliable enough or
sense.
Yes.
trustworthy enough to kind of help them do this job that
Yeah.
they were hired
I
to
think
do.
that's above all, right?
Yeah.
Trustworthy, dependable. If you
Yeah.
have that type of person, regardless of how good you are or something, as long as I know I have a second person to like fill in for me or just be there whenever I need this person. And I think, I mean, yeah, we've worked with plenty of events where you came with either with Fahad, Maroop, where it be. But I want to move aside from your vision, your design. You're a big sneakerhead. At least what I've seen. I mean, we have a bunch of friends that are big sneakerhead.
Yeah.
You do collect, you do buy. If I were to ask you like your top three or even your top two sneakers, give us something.
That's tough,
Shit,
man.
you
'cause
got me
it's-
excited, bro.
Yeah,
I gotta
it's,
sit back
it's
for
kind
this
of definitely a sneakerhead, like old school sneakerhead. But again, I was never rich. Like I don't think any of us were rich when we were coming up. Like
No,
we had
yeah.
one sneaker a year probably when our parents got it, and even at that, I didn't even know sneakers like that. My
Yeah.
cousins were never sneakerheads by any means. I was like the one. I'm one of the older echelon of cousins or like
Mhm.
you know brothers. Like I'm the eldest of four sons, so everybody's kind of looking towards me, and I didn't have that many people to kind of look towards like sneakers or guidance or like stuff like that. But it's when I went to art and design actually again, that's when I started seeing stuff because my boys were sneakerheads. Like they knew sneakers, they grew up, they knew Jordans, they put me on. Like my first pair of Jordans, I bought off one of my friends from school. You know what I mean? So
Secondhand.
yes,
What was your first pair?
Jordan. They were navy Jordan 9 lows.
Hmm.
Of all sneakers that I bought, like actual number Jordans, like obviously I had
Yeah.
other Jordans that I didn't know better. Like
I would have thought that he was like a 4 guy.
I love fours. Fours, threes, and ones are probably my top Jordan that I would wear to this day,
Mhm.
that I still wear to this day. Jordan 11 Cool Gray was my favorite sneaker of
Oh,
all time. But today I can't wear them because they're too bulky. Like they just don't go with
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
aesthetic. and,
even
like,
with fives, bro. Fives are like they look like.
I got
Optimus
some
Primes.
fives. Well, they're off white, so like they're
Yeah.
a little bit more streamlined. But fives are always good. Like again, I think from 1 to 16 was like the golden era of Jordans,
Mhm.
essentially. I've had every one of them at this point, like
Mhm.
whether it be like at least one colorway from it, or I still have stuff now. Over years, some of them have disintegrated and such. But yeah, in terms of top, it's tough, man. Like I said, if you want to say original like Jordans,
Yeah.
like I said, ones, threes, and then fours. I
Yeah,
rank
you
the
can't
top
go wrong
threes.
with the ones,
No,
bro.
I
One,
mean,
yeah.
none of them.
Classic.
You honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Ones, I think that's like everyone's top list
Yeah.
is there. The ones
Yeah.
are there because
Definitely.
even till this date, you could fashionable like you like
Yeah, for
you
sure.
just described like you. If you have the style, you could like literally style them
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
way you want.
But as far, like I said, and then you could go a million different ways with sneakers. Like there's so many different things out there now.
What's your favorite sneaker right now?
I don't think I have a favorite sneaker
What's
now.
some favorite sneaker? And I'm gonna ask you this too. I know I don't know how big of a collector you are.
I
You have
used to be, not
collected-
anymore.
What's
I have a kid.
What's something you would wear daily right now as a sneaker?
Right now, bro, I'm just doing Vans, to be honest. But it's just comfortable.
It's
But at
comfortable,
one
yeah.
point, bro, like so growing up, dude, I used to do a lot of dunks. It was recycled by my older brother, but yeah, like you know, he had, bro, my brother had style.
Yeah.
So yeah, he put me on dunks, and then after that, like obviously the up challenges, bro, you can never go wrong with
Yeah.
like
Yeah, the
uppies.
white Uptowns.
Yeah,
You know what's
nah,
weird?
bro, I was on the black
Oh,
stuff,
you on the
man.
black? I was on the
Oh, you
white.
want the
Hot.
bad
Yeah.
news.
Yeah.
Now it's weird because like I had my moment of Air Force Ones and Uptowns, like
Mhm.
again being in Harlem, whatever, and I used to hate Air Force Ones. Like they were just not. They're too
Really?
chunky. Like I have skinny ass legs. You
Yeah.
know, I'm a skinny dude, and I was much skinnier then. So like wearing shoes like that were
Yeah.
like it was just me.
Like Ronald
Yeah,
McDonald?
it was just weird. It was just weird, man. So like, but I did have a phase because one of my buddies that actually weirdly going back to Rucker, the guy who actually got me in there was like a big. So he was more of a sneakerhead than I ever was,
Yeah.
and he really put like really fine tuned
Mm-hmm.
and was got me into it more heavy. You know what I mean? Like he really got actually. I was tracking down like OG sneakers like from '98
What?
that were never retroed yet. I still have some of the stuff. Some of them are like, you know, they disintegrate over time because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the foam and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
so then
man.
they be turned
I
to
saw
powder.
videos
So
on
it
those.
turns yellow and
Yeah.
stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, forget about the yelling, but like I'm talking about
It
like,
rips apart and
yeah,
stuff.
they just disintegrate. I've had like a pair of Olive Nines OG from like when I was at I forget when the nines dropped. It had to be like that was '98. So what was it be?
The high school time? No, junior high.
They had to
maybe.
be like '95.
That's just junior high.
yeah. So
Is it junior high?
Junior high for
No.
you, bro. What you
No, no,
mean?
but
not
I'm
junior. I'm sorry,
saying-
sorry. Elementary, elementary.
yeah, whatever it
that's
was,
like-
but I'm saying whenever those dropped, I was able to acquire an older pair, my
Mm-hmm.
size at that time. And I never wore them. I took them out one day, wore them, literally breaking apart. I'm in Soho, falling apart as I'm walking. Now and then, obviously at that time, especially, I ain't got money. I ain't taking an Uber or something like there was no Uber. There's no cabs or anything I
Yeah.
could take
Oh,
right now.
nah, bro.
I had to like rush home, switch my whole like outfit into like some shoes, and that was it. That was the one time I wore them, and the one time it was
Like,
dead.
it's gone.
That was it.
That's crazy, bro.
But now like we're talking fashion, anything fashion related. What are if you wear designer stuff, you wear your own stuff. If you were to choose like your best designer currently, what would that be?
Again, that can be subjective, man. Like I said, I would say my favorite, one of my favorite designers of all time is probably going to be Ralph. Like again, he was one of the
Classic.
forefront. Yeah, it's classic.
Classic.
His whole aesthetic is
I mean,
essentially what
that's
is
what
my
you're wearing inside,
I
or
mean,
what?
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
I got
there
the
you go.
bear. You know, I'm always buried out. But yeah, Ralph is definitely like one of my most iconic, like independent of anything else is doing whatever, like just his story or just like his curation. And weirdly, Ralph started making ties for Macy's.
Wow.
Yeah, there's actually a documentary I think that you can find on maybe on Amazon Prime.
Mhm.
He talks about it, like the whole story, his
I had no
backstory,
idea.
his like
Okay.
whole come up and bring up. But that's what he did. He convinced the buyers in Macy's to give him a section, and he would make the ties and like sell ties essentially. Like, and then obviously now it's like a multi-billion-dollar company, and he makes everything, right?
Yeah.
But originally he started out again accessories. It was like it started from a tie. essentially.
Crazy. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely one of my favorites in terms of like fashion. But again, as a designer, I don't only lean into fashion as like designers from fashion as inspiration. There's a ton of people like in other aspects of design that I draw inspo from. You know what I mean? Like I look to everything for inspiration, you know? So it's never one dimensional in that sense. So
Yeah, man.
And I think you know, if there's something I want to know, and I know Furkan can maybe agree with this too, is like what can we expect coming up from you? Like what have you been working on? Maybe you want to give us a little glimpse or a little.
I'm always working, man. Like I said, I'm one of the very few people that are fortunate enough to kind of be given a superpower in a sense. I want to say like creativity. Like I'm able to not just think up stuff, but actually make things. Like I cut and sew. Like I'm not just stitches of res because it's just a cool handle.
Yeah.
Like I live it. Like I can stitch, I can sew, I can make things. Like I can build
Literally.
things. Yeah.
Design.
I do everything. Like
Yeah.
that's why I said my expertise in design is extensive. Like I can build websites. I can, you know, I do digital work. I do actual brick and mortar stuff. Like whatever it is, I'm designing. So that's why it kind of full circles on everything I do. So as far as that, I'm always fortunate that I'm able to express anything I want to do. Like I can, if I want to, like if you have an idea that's creative and you want execution, I can do everything. Like I don't need to go call somebody to give me a hand to do it. I can just do it.
That's
So that's the beautiful thing about
Yeah.
what I do, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to have that ability. So
I know where I'm going, bro. Because we got to start making merch too. So
yeah,
you know.
I mean that's what we do. Stitches of Style is a creative agency.
Yeah.
We build out, like, I've done a ton of stuff for brands. I do a lot of ghost designing for brands too. Like
Oh,
you might
I
not
heard
see
of
my
Ghost
name.
Riders. I've never heard of
There's
Ghost
ghost
Design.
designers, bro. They celebrities do it. Some celebrities do it. Like ASAP Rocky is known for doing ghost designing for a lot of big brands. Like they curate
No
stuff,
fucking
or
way.
like like it's a thing. So because there's a lot, like not every big designer is doing everything themselves. Essentially, they got hands in it. You know what I mean? Like even big companies like Apple, or or
Bro,
Verizon,
Apple's all
whatever.
Samsung, bro. What you
Yeah.
mean? Apple is straight
No,
Samsung.
no, but I'm saying they don't do everything
Yeah,
in
nah,
house.
yeah.
They hire separate
Mhm. To
agencies
your
that
point,
do
yeah.
other work. And at the end of the day, you, the consumer, thinks it's Apple doing it, but
Mhm.
like it was a separate agency doing it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So like
absolutely.
there's a lot of that. So like I've done a lot of ghost designing and stuff like for brands, Puma, my boy Upscale Vandal. Shout out to Vandal.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah, we grew up. He lived like a block away
I
from
mean,
us.
I've seen his stuff, man.
Yeah, he's what, he came from same neighborhood, same everything.
That's
We
fucking dope.
definitely came up with the same kind of thing. Worked with him many years. Still one of a great friend that I can lean on if I need to. But yeah, there's a ton of that stuff that we've done over time. So going into this year specifically, I'm working on a ton of stuff. Like I mentioned, I have a coffee table book I'm working on.
Mhm.
Um, I got a kids brand that I'm supposed to be launching.
Wait,
That's
what?
fine.
I've been sitting on.
Talk to your boy,
Yeah.
bro. What's up?
Yeah,
Talk
my-
to your
Kids-
boy.
I have a
He
kids
be hooking
line.
up those
need a
nephews
model,
of his,
bro? Let
all of
me
our
know.
kids.
Trust me, there's now in my world that I'm living, there's a ton of kids that I can use, and a ton of
Bro.
adults and married couples or whatever. So
Yeah,
there's
man.
plenty of people around. So I have more than enough models, but definitely I'll reach out if I need. But definitely got the kids
Yeah.
That's
line
a
supposed to
no. That's a
launch.
no.
Nah.
No, it's not a no. It's
It's
just
a
hard.
negative.
That's the common
I
thing.
know, I know.
It's like anything like you do creative. Like for me, like, oh, you need a model. Like, no, I need people to buy my stuff
Yeah.
because it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive to put out some of the stuff.
Yeah,
man. Like
absolutely.
again, I don't compromise on quality, so it comes out.
Nah, I
know
get
what
you,
mean?
bro.
But people don't lose sight of that. But got the kids line coming, got the book coming. I have an art
That's
show that
exciting.
I'm also supposed to launch at some
Really?
point this year. Yeah, I just need to. I'm
Are you
looking.
doing like an exhibition?
He
Yeah,
does a lot
it's-
of doodling, man. Like a lot of drawing and stuff.
yeah, it's very curated, this show. Again, I don't want to kill the lead here and like
Yeah.
give away too much of it. When it is out, I hope everybody here who's
Yeah.
listening.
I mean, we could probably have you come back and
come
like
check
talk
out.
about that more.
Yeah. So that's literally, there's 40 pieces professionally framed and ready to go right now at this moment.
From you.
Sheesh.
Yes. All hand drawn and like curated specifically for this show. Only thing I'm missing now is actually a venue. So if anybody out there that has a gallery that I can access potentially, obviously I got to see it and works with the vision that I want to
Yes.
ultimately output. Definitely look forward to that. But that's going to be something hopefully when it's warmer. I've been sitting on that. I've been sitting on the kids line, like I said. The book is almost close to being, ready to kind of get out there. And again, Stitches Style, where we have bigger things that we're trying to, as a brand, the in-house brand, we're trying to explore.
Yeah.
So, constantly there's stuff that I'm working on, and we'll see what other opportunities that come across my way to create.
I mean, we're getting very close to the end of our show, but before we do that, I wanted to point one other thing because you're talking about all these things that you are doing. You also have a Ludo board that you have
Yes,
designed.
I
Bro,
forgot
I've been
about
trying to
that.
get this for so.
Yes.
Yo, my bad, bro. I've been slacking on you, but
So the Ludo board, like when you first created it, I'm like, holy shit, that's dope because it was like a lot of like cartoonish, maybe your favorite show. Like
Movie.
he did a Game of Thrones one.
Yeah, weirdly, so again,
Yes.
of the many things I do, I forgot about the Ludo boards things. That's also out, theludoshop.com.
TheLudoShop.com. Yes.
Yeah, so check it out if you're interested. We have 3 specific boards out and available right now. We have a traditional one, a Game of Thrones one, and a Harry Potter one we have that's
Mhm.
readily available at this moment.
Yes.
And when I say readily, there's a limited quantity,
Mhm.
but it's available. I've done I initially started those I made those boards from scratch. So like from the pieces. I would color them, putting the felt on the pieces underneath.
Like literally Ludo
to
pieces.
the little details on the board to designing out the boards. It was literally took a concept and ran with it. Like I always, again, that goes back to my earlier statement of like being able to execute things because I can do everything I need to. I don't have to go to somebody else. So I obviously everybody has those old like tacky design Ludo boards that are out in
The one with
market.
the commercial in the back with the
Yeah, like,
Uncle and Auntie.
like stock imagery of whatever, like animals or like
Or
plants
like
or
the Taj
whatever.
Mahal.
Yeah, like whatever it is. So I was like, yeah, I could do this better. And like literally, I was like, I can actually do this better. So I took that and kind of ran with it. I was like, yo, it would be kind of cool to apply themes or like motifs that are more relevant to us today, right? Like we grew up with this game as like this whatever, but like there's room for it to be something a little bit more that like you would want to go out your way and get that, right? Like it's nothing in the market. And if I have yet to see anybody create Ludo boards the way I do, if there is, please show me. But again, I took that little concept and it just kind of blew up. Like of all the things weirdly I've created, it's probably gotten the most love and the most money generated, which is, and it all started as like a challenge to myself to like create. And then people just ask me, like, yo, you selling that? I'm like, I could make you one, yeah. And then like
Yeah.
100+ boards in, like, you know, people.
Wow. Did you release this in like during COVID?
No, I started them initially way before COVID.
I feel like it took off in COVID though.
There was a big influx of obviously the COVID time, like anything home based
Yeah.
was like
Anything
money.
home based. Yeah.
I've made plenty of deliveries on the go during COVID, but yeah, it's one of those things like it's you don't know you want it until you see it. Like, and especially now where we're at with the boards, especially the ones we sell directly from the site, those are now manufactured like and curated more higher quality than like even when I was making them, they were pretty solid in terms of quality, but I was limited in terms of what I could do from home, right? Now those boards are like really curated, like the boxes are even customized and designed by me to kind of go with the whole set. Like I originally started with just like a foldable board and like the pieces in like pouches and stuff. Then I was able to go to a quad fold board and like have a box where I used to like makeshift the box as well. And now we're at the point where like again everything is designed. There's a rules sheet in there. Like again, there's like there's other, you know, designed out little curations, like the dice is customized. Like there's a lot of stuff that I would took into account and like trialed and errored and perfected.
Yeah,
over
details,
time.
man. It's in the
But yeah, that's
details.
another thing. It's still available. Like, you know, it's one of those
Yes.
things.
Yes.
that
I
are
would definitely check it out. Ludoshop.com.
the Ludo shop.
TheLudoshop.com. Before we close out the show, if there's one accessory that Rez needs to wear with any outfit, what would that be?
That used to be when I used to wear ties. It was tie clips because I collected them.
And yo, that's always.
Yeah, always. That was my thing, and I was like made it my thing. Nobody else was doing it. But now I don't know, man. It's got to be. It's tough, man. I love my accessories now. I think I'm big on like the rings right now.
I was just
guess.
gonna, yeah.
I think that's my thing. I like throw on now. Like it's just a habitual thing that I can do. Like they're the same rings, or I have like gold or silver type of things. I think it's probably rings right now. That's my like go-to right now. But the kicks are always there, man. Like if I could throw on some like one of my
Yeah.
dope kicks, like today, Off-White dunks today.
Yes.
I will always throw on my kicks, but it's always an accessory. It's gonna be always an accessory.
And ever since we've been doing the show, I've been wearing your shit like
appreciate that.
nonstop.
Yeah.
This is as I mentioned, this is Red stuff. My friend here always be like, "Yo, I haven't gotten anything from Red. I need something."
Yeah.
But today, Red's got you a hat. Check it out.
Now you're official.
Yes, now you're
Yeah.
official SOS.
SOS all day, huh?
Yes, show it to the camera. I want to see the front.
Oh, it's
The
Yes.
original Tiger insignia.
Yes, that's
this
a
is solid, bro.
Yeah.
quality. Check the quality, dope,
Bro,
right?
I mean, yeah,
But no, like now you have something. Hopefully,
that's fire.
definitely
Appreciate you.
support. Again, Stitches of Style. You could find it on Instagram, stitchesofstyle.com, and his personal handle is Stitches of Rez. This guy, the man, the myth, the legend. He anything you need, graphics, any drawings, whatever it is you need that he didn't mention, he probably does.
Yep.
So definitely slide in the DMs, shoot him a message. I'm sure he'll find something for you.
Yeah, we're not gatekeeping, bro.
No.
We're putting it out in the world.
Absolutely.
it, man. Like
We
you said.
appreciate you coming through, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This was amazing. I've known you for 10 plus years almost,
Probably
and some of
more,
the stuff
yeah.
that you just talked about, I had no idea. So it was also great for me. I know it's great
Yeah,
for
absolutely,
Smokey.
man. Thank you for coming.
We appreciate you. Thank you. And yo, as always, if you've reached this far into the video, please do subscribe to our channel, Global Chat Room, all on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely support us. Definitely support Rez. And we'll see you on the next one, right?
Yeah.
Peace.
Out, guys.